much more difficult for us. Okay? Another couple of trivial tips will be to set up your desktop wallpaper to something that enables you to visualize the task or the reward, rather the reward that you're going to get when you do that. I like motorbikes, so for some time I had a desktop wallpaper that was a beautiful motorbike, that is the one that I want next, you see. The other thing that I have also thought, and has worked for me and my clients, is to set up a desktop wallpaper, because we see the computer so many times. We will see this image several times a day, and the subconscious mind works by repetition association. Is to have a desktop wallpaper that has to do with concentration, with focus, with anything that is symbolic of focus for us. For me, personally, is a laser beam. That image helps me to concentrate, to be focused on something. It's a powerful visual. Maybe you have your own personal ones. The other things that are good for you to do to avoid procrastination are naturally exercise. The better your physical state, the less you will naturally procrastinate. You see, all these things are lots of little things that are going on in our lives that we don't realize that are all connected. Diet, naturally. Sleep is also very important. Eat every 3 hours. I always recommend that to all my clients, okay? And also drink plenty of water. Water won't harm you in any way. It will always help you, and being very hydrated will help you not to have the highs and lows in glucose levels, okay? What they call it blood sugar. The last thing is to associate your goal with something that you enjoy. Remember the power of associations. If you don't want to do something specific, there is a reason for it. And usually we don't have to go too deep, even at a conscious level, to know what is wrong. If you look at all these things, particularly your associations, and particularly any kind of associations that may be deeply ingrained in your mind, relating either the task or the state in which completion of the task will put you in, that may give you very powerful clues on why you procrastinate. As you can see, procrastination is a very common problem. As I said before, the most important thing to remember is that one. That is very common, therefore you don't have to feel guilty. And once you take the guilt out of the equation, then it's just a simple logical problem like any other. Most important of all, maybe you're not doing with your life what you really want to be doing. And I believe that the mind, the human mind, is extremely powerful, and we don't use so much of our potential as we could. I also believe that the world is a very complex place, but it is also possible in one way or another to change your life if you really want to. So it's never too late to follow your dream and to start building, perhaps slowly, perhaps as a side project as you have your job. I admire Mark for what he's doing. He's gone from working for others to working for himself. I'm sure he's learning a lot. He has a steep learning curve ahead of him. Many of us here are self-employed. Many of us here are familiar with procrastination. But the more in tune you feel with the task that you do, the more that means to you, the less you will naturally procrastinate. Now, to finish this talk, I would like to remind you. Imagine that you are I don't know, perhaps if you are a female, imagine your first experiences with boys. You are 15, you're putting on your makeup, you know you're going... it didn't happen to me. Not yet. But imagine that you are going, visualize a 15-year-old girl very excited because she's going out to a place where she's going to meet boys. It's something very simple, but for that little girl there, it means a lot. And for sure she won't procrastinate about that, okay? When we need to work harder to do something specific, usually us men, to get our first car or our first motorbike, usually the tasks that we need to do to get there are not as hard. We don't procrastinate so much. So we only procrastinate on the things that we have the wrong associations with. Check your associations and you will stop procrastinating. If you have any questions about procrastination or anything else, just let me know, and I hope that this talk was useful to you. Remember, the causes can be slight and consciously easy to see, or they can be deeply ingrained, in which case I strongly recommend you to look for professional help, okay, of any kind, whatever it is you think that is good for you. Because these things, at some point, are not so easy to see, particularly laugh scripts, fear of failure, and that kind of programming that you may have. On the other hand, be healthy, water, exercise, visualization, vivid visualization of the task, good associations with the task, and making sure, most importantly, that the task is aligned with what you really want in life will go a long way to help you avoid procrastination. Thank you. Thank you.
I find myself stumped for a question after that. Anybody else got anything they'd like to ask?
Very quickly, any question?
To a degree, life dictates almost everything you do.
Sure.
You as an individual have very little control over what happens in your day.
Definitely, I believe so. I agree with you. I think that's not a question. That's I agree with that.
Yeah, but therefore, because of that, time to meditate or time to do whatever gets restricted because you're not solely in control anymore. I get up at 36 now. What are you doing?
I believe that we are all very good, and this is a talent that we develop over time. We are all very good at giving excuses to ourselves, and this is something that we should be very careful about.
I think it depends on the wish. If you have the wish and desire really to do it, then we do what we want to do. So
I think
some of what we want to do.
Yeah, I think
you've got
that
kids, wife, etc., etc. They do what you want to do.
procrastination is one of those problems that seem very simple and very superficial at one point, but there's a lot more behind it. So it's important, like anything else that you want to improve in your life, to research and to learn about it. Anything that you want to change, you should know about. Yes?
What's the difference between meditating and just having a nap?
That's a great question. The way I do it, I learned it with a book based on the benefits that I read that it will give me. And the problem with having an app is that it puts you in a different state of mind. When you are doing meditation, I don't know if you experience the same thing, but for me it feels as if I'm doing Tetris and things are falling into place. The only thing that you have to do when you're doing meditation is just stay quiet for about 12 minutes. That's what I recommend to beginners. And then it's as if your inner computer is processing stuff, but you don't have to do anything. The only thing you have to do is to watch your thoughts pass, that's all. Yeah.
So you're conscious, not unconscious.
Yes. In response to what Chris was saying, that I think we have to take control of our own lives and not be ruled by other people.
Yeah, I think that we are, I am surrounded by procrastinators in one hand, and I am one of them because it's natural in human beings. But in the other hand, I think that we can also, all of us or most of us, congratulate ourselves because we are on a path that is a hard one, and we are already ahead of the pack in a way. If you're a self-trader, if you're working for yourself, you are already something difficult that requires willpower, so you are not as bad a procrastinator as you may think you are. Thank you very much. Thank you.